I'm Abigail Green, and welcome to our Introduction to Literature course. This video is, first of all, to just welcome you to class. I hope we're going to have a great time, but also I wanted to do just a quick run through of what our course looks like, where you can find all of the important stuff, and hopefully give you some tips and tricks in the same way that I would do in a face-to-face course. So we'll start at the top. In our Start Here folder, you can find some info on how to navigate this course. We're doing that a little bit, of course. And then some information on alternative formats, some stuff about me, your introductory discussion board, which you should complete. And then my office hours are also located here. So you are, of course, welcome to come see me face to face in my office, even though this is an online class. You can also email and call, and you can find the information for that in our syllabus. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. So towards the top of this, you will see my name, my office phone number. You are more than welcome to give me a shout on that. If I'm in the office, I'll pick up. If not, be sure you leave a voicemail with a callback number. Otherwise, I don't know who called or how to get a hold of you. And then below that is my email address. Please use your Calendly email. That way it doesn't go to my spam. If I'm in my office, my email is open. So I respond Monday through Friday. Below that, you've got some policies that are Calendly policies. I'm not going to spend too much time going over the stuff that's in all of your course syllabi because you should go through and read that. But below that, you'll see our textbook. It's a lit course. We are definitely using the textbook. Be sure that you've got the correct textbook. I have run into an issue before where students are not using the ISBN or checking it before ordering a textbook from somewhere other than the bookstore, and they get the wrong one. So be sure that you are getting the correct book. Below that, we've got some expectations and some information about the course. Obviously, we're going to read a lot. Hopefully, based on the fact that I've tried to pick a bunch of diverse stuff, you're going to find some stuff you really enjoy. And we're also going to be critically thinking about that and then working on articulating our thoughts about that for other people. Below that, we've got our plagiarism and AI policy. I don't want to spend too much time here, but it is important that you read it and that you understand the academic code of conduct. And note that, of course, any use of AI or any other form of plagiarism will not be tolerated in this course. Below that, you got some policies, some stuff that I will do. Be sure that you're using Word for your essays in this course. If you need help with that, I am more than happy to help you. And I know the tutors in the Tiger Learning Center are as well. And this is important. If you have questions, ask them. You're not going to bother me by asking me a question, especially like via email. I would love to answer anything that you've got. Be sure to log in, sure to turn stuff in. I don't accept late work after a unit end date. So once unit one is over, unit one is over. Same thing with no late work during finals week. So below that, it's an online course, you know you need a computer, right? Below that, you've got your grades. So these are all the points that you have the opportunity to earn this semester, as well as the grading scale. So we'll look more closely at assignments here in a second in the actual Blackboard page. But it is important to note that each unit has a corresponding exam. You must take each exam to pass the course. And that unit 4 exam, our final unit, is the final exam. There's not a fifth test to take. You do have some essays to write. They've got to be submitted in Blackboard properly. They've got to be in MLA format, and they've got to be a Word document. So all of that information there. This tells you that extra credit may be offered. It will be offered. So keep an eye out for that. And then we've got some stuff that is the same in all of your syllabi. So I'm going to move a little bit, but I do want to pause and mention that proctoring, digital proctoring is used in this course for each of those unit exams. So be sure that you come in here, click on this link, download Respondus, take a second, look at it, get comfortable with it. There's also stuff in your Blackboard orientation course that you can go back and look at on proctoring. I do require a webcam, so when you use Respondus and you enter the exam, it is going to record your screen, and then it is also going to show you. It's going to ask you to show an ID. A student ID is totally fine, so if you've got your Cali ID, that's a perfect form. And all the instructions, of course, will be in the exam and a reminder of all that stuff. If you would prefer face-to-face proctoring on Cali's campus or in another approved location, you need to set that up with me ahead of time. So before that exam is actually due. So keep that in mind. Below that, again, we've got some policies that are the same in all of your syllabi. And then we've got our course schedule, our rough course schedule. So if we back out of that, You can see that course acceptance acknowledgement, just like all of your other classes, you need to complete that before you can open Unit 1. Below that is our additional resources folder, which is exactly what it sounds like. So you've got information on formatting help, citations, grammar, anything that I thought could be helpful to you in terms of like writing an essay, right? So below that, we've got our unit modules. I've got them in reverse order so that while your motivation is high, you're scrolling all the way to the bottom. And then as the semester goes on, less scrolling. But a pause before we get to those to show you the institutional resources. And most importantly, that Cowley College helpful links, because it does have the link to the library so that you can go to the e-portal and start your research for things like essays. Above that, Unit 1, you can see each unit is dated, and this one, of course, you've got to take that CAA before you can open. So, uh, the order of things here is exactly how you will see things in each unit. I wanted to provide consistency as much as I was able to. So your student learning objectives will always be at the top, followed by your readings and assignments, then any content that I have specifically made for you for this course, followed by assignment instructions, and then the assignments themselves. So if we click on that top one, these are your objectives. They line up with what's in your syllabus. Below that, you've got readings and assignments. So you'll notice in each unit, your units are broken up into separate lessons. They correspond with the assignment drop boxes over here. So you can see that you're going to be turning in Unit 1, Lesson 1. Here's Unit 1, Lesson 1. So, I've got instructions, I've got what you're supposed to be reading from your book, I've got the stories you're supposed to be reading, and then I've got the questions themselves. So you can always look for the little bullet point list, and then you're going to have the actual questions. So you will submit all of these 3 assignment questions together as your Unit 1, Lesson 1 assignment. So put them all into a Word document all together and then submit. So students do typically ask, well, how much am I supposed to write? What am I supposed to do? Part of it's going to depend on the question itself, but also this is not an essay. Think of this as your daily work. This is the discussion we would be having about these stories, or the way that I would be checking in with you about them if we were face to face. So let's see. This one in particular, The Two Crabs by Aesop, what's the moral and theme and what makes you think so? You'll notice when you go to see this story that it is the shortest thing we're going to read. It's about this big, right? So there's not that much that you're going to be able to say. A few sentences is a more than adequate answer for that question. Versus where you're writing about the shroud, where it asks you what's the conflict and what makes you think so, that answer is going to be a little bit longer because that story is longer. There's more information. And even with that, I would say on these, a paragraph is awesome. A couple paragraphs is like, wow, you're really batting it out of the park. And any more than that is not necessary. Okay, they're not meant to be formal essays. They're just meant to be a check-in that you are understanding both the story itself and that you're getting kind of a preview of what I think is important in that particular text, aka what might also show up on your exam. So once you do that, you'll submit that, and then you've got your Unit 1, Lesson 2. It works the same way. I've got readings listed, I've got pages listed, I've got extra info, and then I've got your assignment questions. Again, you've got 3 here. You'll put those answers all in one Word document, and you will upload it as Unit 1, Lesson 2, and then Unit 1, Lesson 3. Same thing, very standard, looks the same in every single unit in this class. Below that, we've got some PowerPoints that I have made to go with this unit. So a Unit 1 summary, narration and point of view, and then symbols and figurative language. So those are all made on purpose by me for you so that you can do a little bit less reading of textbooky stuff and focus on the actual stories and whatnot for this class. And these will help guide you in terms of things you might need for your essays and your exams, as well as just a deeper understanding of the texts. So those are all there. Below that, we have our unit essay instructions. So for this unit, you're writing a criticism essay. You'll come in here, you'll read, you'll pick, and you'll be good to start the writing for that. The submission box is in a separate spot. I want you to be able to come back to the instructions as many times as you want without worrying like, oh, did I start a submission? So that's why that's set up that way. Below that, we've got a study guide for exam 1. Towards the beginning of the semester, the study guides are, as you can see, fairly thorough. As you get comfortable with the exams and my expectations, they will get smaller. Uh, and then below that, we've got a discussion, and then our three lesson assignments, our essay, and then our Unit 1 exam. So they work exactly how you expect. You go into the discussion, you make a post, you do responses. Below that, again, you've got our lessons. You'll notice that these due dates are spread out, right? Your unit is not just 1 week long. So monitor those due dates. Um, that way you don't fall behind, but also, it gives you time to spread out the readings a little bit. And I do give a reminder of the questions here, but I don't have space here. I don't want to make it too complicated, and include what the readings are. So these are just kind of a last resort. Oh yeah, I was supposed to answer 3 assignments in this lesson, sort of a thing. So you can see for this unit, lesson 1 is due on the 31st, lesson 2 is due on the 7th, lesson 3 is due on the 14th. So some spreading out there in terms of your assignments. Below that, we have our criticism essay submission box. So just a reminder of the rules here, but of course those instructions are up there for you to review. And then finally, there's your Unit 1 exam. I'm not going to click on it and open it, but I will tell you that it is largely short answer questions, so things that you could answer in a sentence or two a lot of the time, maybe a few sentences. And then at the end of each exam, there is an essay question. Your study guide covers this as well, but I want to make sure that you know ahead of time that you have that essay question each one. It's worth way more points than the short answer questions, and therefore I expect more work and content there. So pay attention, be sure you know which one is the essay question. I do have them all marked, and give that one the work that it deserves for that level of points. So that is what each of our units looks like. Um, the following units will open, I believe, the Friday before they actually start. Yes. So Unit 2 starts on the 22nd. It will open on the 18th, just to give you time to preview. And I know lots of you are doing work over the weekend, so I want things to open early for you. So I think that's it for our course run through. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to stop by anytime. Give me a call, shoot me an email, whatever works for you. I'm happy you're here, and I hope it's a great semester.